All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lyman. This is Bryce, and we're back at Chasing 4-5. He was talking about the forehand, and he was kind of evaluating what the things that I need to work on. And because he's around pros training all the time, every day, right? And especially with Bernard, he sees it so much that he pinpoints exactly what I was needed. So for like 3 minutes, as I was hitting forehands, he just kept micro adjusting me while I was hitting, like in real time. And I was able to hit the ball a lot cleaner, a lot more pace, a lot more spin. I haven't been able to replicate it 100%. I probably can replicate it 5% while playing with a live ball. So I think he has an opportunity to build a very good adult program at his tennis camp out in Florida, the Head Professional Tennis Academy. So we like to call it the farm because that was the original name. That was the original name, and I still want to call it the farm. Maybe that's the nickname, the farm. But
I mean, we already made a logo for it that looks good. It looks good,
right,
actually.
the logo looks
Yeah.
good. We're right. The logo looks good. Maybe one day he'll take on that logo, and then maybe on the bottom says Head Professional Tennis Academy. But it's out in Florida. It's out in Bradenton. As we work to build out an adult program, we're gonna go train with him. I will fly out. We'll do um his claim he can turn me into a 5-0 in 1 month. Unfortunately, I don't have that much time off to take for a month, and this would end our YouTube series really fast. So, um, but we have a new person in the family that's going to be a part of this journey. So that's going to be fun. So look forward to that content. Um, and I'm currently trying to figure out when I can get out there, maybe for probably either 3 or 5 days and just do 3 to 5 days of training with dad, 101, and see what we can do. And I'll also start playing more tournaments this year. So
Yeah, I would say it's not even that like if you I was thinking this about this that even if you did have the time, the like physical toll that a month of training would take on your body is like not great because like I'm not even like super young to be training a month every day in a row, and I can't imagine like in your 40s that you want to do that. And to like you can I think you could get to 5-0 in a month like if you really wanted to, but like to have your body recover properly, I think would be important in terms of like having training go well and sustaining like a good concentration and good movement and things like that. It just doesn't really happen if you try to force someone to train really hard for a month. But you should like even if you were attending an adult training camp like that, the benefits are is that you get a lot of takeaways within that really short span of time to like make notes on and take home with you and work on. So yeah, like to see it
yeah,
happen.
yeah, I think it'd be fun, and it'll be good because it'll be a little bit personalized. And we had a really interesting thought about feeding. Like when you hire a coach, my thought we had this discussion, right? So my thought was, hey, I don't care who feeds me the ball if I'm working on technique modification.
Yeah.
And there's like two. There a friend of ours was also discussing, well, dad's friend, and then he was like, well, if I'm gonna be paying a lot of money, I want that coach to feed me the ball. And I was like, well, that's not really the case. I want the coach to correct me. And I read like dad was standing behind me, and I was hitting. He was like, turn more, turn more. It's exactly what you tell me, but I
Yeah.
don't have you live, right? We talk about this, and I thought I was turned enough, but he goes turn more. So I would keep turning until he goes, okay, make sure you load. And then he goes, relax your right arm. As I'm swinging, the pace of the ball was like I could hit the ball so much easier and effortless. And like
Mhm.
Young was on the other side and he had trouble at the baseline and pretty much only like blocking the ball back.
Yeah.
And I was hitting it deep and he goes, and I was hitting a lot, maybe 50% out, like not really far out, but out. And he goes, don't worry about hitting it out. Just get that motion, get that motion. And it was a matter of 3 minutes, my whole forehand completely changed. Obviously reverted back, but because it wasn't enough, right? But I have that. I know what I'm looking for in it when I'm hitting a live ball, and I'm trying to search for that. Yeah.
That
So
yeah. Well, I was gonna say that's why like the most efficient way to train juniors right now is to have like 2-on-1 sessions with a coach. So two juniors and one coach, and like you have them hit live ball with each other, and you're switching off your attention because like once when you say you're starting to work on like a certain technique, like once you start working on that aspect, like okay, we're going to move and turn or rotate our body in your case by like a couple degrees more. Once you start getting the hang of it, it's like up to you to consciously correct that. And that's always the case. And then that way, while you're working on that, say if you're hitting with Young and this is the coaching session of you and Young, the coach shifts his attention, goes across the court, and talks to Young and continues the session with Young. Okay, what does he need to work on? Not necessarily rotating the body, but and then you're still concentrating on yourself, detecting yourself. Am I rotating correctly? Um, so
so that's exactly how we want to design the adult program
yeah.
is have four people on one court and then in the beginning we can have like a ball machine kind of feed them or have somebody feed balls
Mhm.
just to warm up and stuff. But ideally it would be live ball depending on their level and dad would go and work on each individual person and coach that individual person as they were hitting live ball.
Makes sense. That's
Well,
yeah.
right?
I don't
So,
know.
well, we'll see. I don't know how it will work out, but I'm hoping that what we're doing here will help support him over there. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I would definitely like to come out and hang out more on the farm. It'd be cool. Cool place, warm climate. Gets really hot, but still trainable.
yeah, yeah. So, I mean, summer's pretty brutal. I think outside of summer, I think it'd be okay. It wouldn't be too bad. All right, you want to see what we have?
Let's start with the 4 doubles that's on YouTube, since people are gonna look at it and they probably have some thoughts that they want to say or talk about. And yeah, I haven't been able to take a look yet, so maybe we can like talk to people
Okay.
and tell them what we're thinking. USTA Met 4 men's doubles, NorCal
Yep.
tennis.
Yeah. So,
Okay, yeah, you're in the gray.
yeah, I'm in the gray. I'm the
Nice
only one in
poach.
long pants.
Did you feel the pressure because of the long pants?
No, I play like this a lot actually, because during like when it's cold, I'm kind of used to it. I think it like helps me burn more calories.
I think both of the service games that oh nice. I was gonna comment on how good the serves are, but yeah, nice reaction. Okay. Oh, do you feel like your opponents are moving a little faster?
Yeah, so Dan is he's a 4-0 nationals player, right? So he went to nationals 2 years ago. I think the guy name is Huang. Juan. I don't. The other guy, in the blue and black, he can hit pretty
Dan,
hard.
okay,
Dan's in the white and blue hat,
okay, good movement, good movement, good cover.
and then yeah, I do that.
That's okay. That's okay. There's these are
I
like I'm
like.
guessing the highlights, right?
No, this is actual match point, I think. Yeah, these are each point. So we played a
Oh,
set.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Uh, I was gonna say your partner, Dan doesn't do it as much, but on their serves, if this is the ball and they're tossing something that they both do that we haven't really seen often is that they're tossing the ball and they're kind of as they're prepping and they're setting their racket here, I'll do this sideways. They're dipping their racket below or their racket head kind of down and not necessarily below, but at least parallel to the ball, and they're brushing up more. So there's more of this motion instead of just contacting like uh, like with the racket head on, they're
Mhm.
having the racket brush over the ball more, which is a lot of action. It puts a lot more spin on the ball. Something that we should probably like try to pay attention to as we move our focus onto serves. Because that, if you can do it, it just provides a lot of like consistency and motion and spin and angle onto your serve. So
Good to know. Definitely need more action on serves. Yeah, Dan, you can see when Dan like practice when he serves, you can totally see the shape of the ball is
yeah,
so different. There's a lot of action on his. Actually, I found it easier to return Dan's serve.
yeah,
It felt more predictable. I don't
right.
know why, but
Dan is your partner or the opposing
no,
guy that
no,
just served?
opposing. So he's serving right now.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I think he also does it too. Basically, I think yeah, there's a lot of action. And what this action allows you to do is push the opponent back a lot more. Um, Even if it is consistent, it's just like if they're standing where they usually stand, they're going to have to like hit the ball above their shoulders. Um,
Hmm.
so what naturally happens is that people begin to scoot backwards to compensate. Nice pass. Um, Yeah, but it seems like they are moving faster than like previous matches. They're trying to hit the volleys a lot harder by sticking it, um, which is interesting. Yeah, do you feel like it was more difficult? I mean, this is not your first 4-0 match, but
Uh, well, at like the I feel like they just hit the ball really clean, and I, I it did. I wouldn't say it's hard. I felt like I could keep up with the pace. I have a lot of fun playing with them. I don't know if that makes any sense.
yeah,
Um, there was just a lot of like a lot of things make sense. Like what they were doing, I can kind of predict what's going to happen, and you have less margin for error.
nice pass. Um, Less margin for error because they're covering the court really well, or like
Like like the volleys that they hit are clean, right?
yeah,
They're not. They typically don't. Yeah, they don't miss that much, obviously. And then, what's the other thing? I, like they direct the ball really well. I think is the best way to put it.
yeah. They do. I think they're making really good shot choices. I feel like, but they do slip up every now and then where I think if you were super aggressive in getting to the net, you could see a lot more opportunity. Because right now, what tends to happen is in some of the volley points, not all of them, is that they like are able to like return your ball or volley, but at the same time, uh, like not being anticipating enough, like trying to like really like not like what's the word, just being schizo about the next fall and like next opportunity, but just like closing in the loop a little bit. By not doing that when you're coming off of your first volley, I think what ends up happening is that you're still really far back from the net. Um, that you end up picking up their next shot that they give to you like low and below the net, and you're having to pop up a bit.
Yeah, like being able to uh being able to read it.
Yeah, yeah. So let me clarify. Like okay, if you go back to this point, like
Which one? Sorry.
you can scroll
Uh,
back actually quite a bit. We can look at like a couple different points. Um, but like what we're looking for is like a point where you have a volley, uh, and you stick the volley well, and what ends up happening is that like you're not like walking in as much or like moving in to close in this point and this like
uh,
construction of the point that so here like okay not I guess the ball went
yeah,
out but
yeah.
like if
Let me
you're
see
at
if I
the
can.
net yeah
No, I think it was more in the beginning. Maybe here, I think.
you seem a lot more attentive though on what the ball's like doing.
But there were a few points
Yeah,
where there's a lot.
my point is like whenever you have a second volley, what you don't want to do is be caught trying to like trying to take it below the net or trying to pop up with the ball.
Oh, maybe here. Here we go.
Yeah, so that's one. Two. Yeah, so these balls like there's some that you're taking that's like below the net a little bit. Um,
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, that's
yeah, like that
so.
volley. Yeah, yeah.
No, go ahead. So this,
Um, okay, so here, that's fine. So, but like that first volley, if you see it coming towards you and you know you're gonna take it, like don't scoot back, scoot forward. You know, that backhand where you're picking it off the fly, like you gotta um like you can either back up and wait for it to get higher or scoot closer and take it as a volley. You know, don't be in a position where you're taking it and it's below the net.
okay.
Because what you don't want to do is pop the ball up and have it sit in the air for a moment while your opponent's in the net and like is ready to take it like early, is ready to kill the ball, and then you're in a position where you're kind of stuck a little bit. Yeah, like the less you want to pop up the ball is the better. So here, yeah,
I should
great
have.
choice. No, 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 that was good. Like you waited and you took the middle, which is like good because then they have to make a decision. But then after that, if you go back to the point, yeah. So this is good because you're waiting and then aggressive shot. But after that, you want to scoot in and take the next one out of the air.
Uh,
It's like hard and like scary, but yeah, you want to move forward as much as you can after every shot.
okay. Yeah, I have a tendency to go move back.
I think it's good. Like if you're gonna take a full swing forehand, like you should wait or backhand, you should wait until the ball is like fully like sitting at its highest point or like it's floating and then you have like a lot of time to decide and to like it throws people off too if you have to like because they're gonna make a choice about where they want to cover, where they think the ball's gonna go. So uh but it's one or the other. Like don't be in the middle where you have to like pop up the ball. It's in or wait until it sits, being as aggressive as you can, at least. That at
Okay.
least, yeah. What was this? This was a tournament or just like
No,
you
no,
guys?
it just so these guys, there's a group of 4 guys out of Foster City,
Yeah.
and it's just them getting together to play. It's like kind of weekend practice.
Oh,
Most of
okay.
the guys, yeah, most of the guys are about, I think they were all about similar level, or some maybe even better.
Okay. Interesting. I think my friend AJ does the same with his group of 4 because I think you've met him. He plays out of like Newark or Union City
Okay.
4. Yeah. Cool. What was the end score?
6-4.
Okay.
We were down, I think 4-1. Four, no, 3-1, and then yeah, then we came back. But yeah, we were behind the whole time. The there's one more video. So we played two sets um with these two other guys, and
Dude, you're getting all of
they
these balls.
oh, I missed that one. Yeah.
That's okay.
I feel like I can see the ball better. I don't know. Uh,
Without LASIK, right? Or like any
oh no,
glasses.
I'm like a bionic person, dude. I have the implantable contact lenses. I don't have contact lenses anymore. I had gotten surgery a couple years back.
Wait, are you being serious?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
have highly recommend it. It's so much better.
I didn't know you were being serious. I was like, oh, this is still part of the LASIK joke. No, I feel like you're moving better. Uh, I think one thing is that you could you could start practicing. That should be the cover. Is that you should start practicing like doing like split stepping, like really small footwork as you're doing net drills, as you're doing volley drills. Is like split and then extra steps, split extra steps. Like we'll find a video of how that works. Insert video here. Um, but there's a lot of like before the person feeds, usually it's a coach as like what how we just talked about. Like usually it's
Yeah.
a coach, but like in your case of ball machine, as you approach the ball, okay, I have to take one, two, three, set sequence of steps so that I'm taking more steps, and then you take the volley back up to the cone or whatever, more steps, and then you take the volley.
The beginning was a little rough.
No, I feel like that forehand was pretty good. I mean, you're at the net, so I don't expect when sorry, clarify. When there's one person volleying and the other person's at the baseline, you're practicing volleys, I don't really expect people to take every single ball without a double bounce or like properly because it just screws with like the rhythm of like if you're trying to run back and forth into the court and out to the court and into the court to cover the depth of the changing volleys, it's kind of ridiculous. But otherwise, Lyman's forehands have a lot of action on them, which is really good. I don't know if this was after or before Dad's clinic.
After.
Uh, okay, yeah, and maybe we see an effect here because of because of Dad's head tennis professionals. Look them up. uh,
Link in the comment, link in the description.
yeah. But you can watch and you can see how he like flicks his rackets a little more. Hopefully, you're paying attention to that. Um,
Oops.
that's okay. Yeah, I don't know. So what did you exactly work on with that besides rotating your shoulder and your body more?
That was it. Loading my legs a little bit more.
Okay, this is good. No,
Uh,
I feel like the way that you're able to turn and flick your racket a little bit more is good because the way that you're like what you ultimately want, especially with a racket like the Pro Staff, is because the weight is at the handle, it's head light. So what you want to do is as you turn and rotate, which Lyman is doing, and we can I think Lyman
here
knows
you go.
that meme. Basically, yeah. So what you want is this, is you're leading with the butt cap. I know that went out, don't worry. You leading with the butt cap more because you want the weight to be with a headlight racket, in my opinion, you have to flick the weight forward more and like move the weight yourself from in front of your, or sorry, behind your arm or behind your wrist to in front of your wrist to have that weight of the racket be more applied. Like naturally, if we think in physics, how the arm works, it's this massive weight and then the racket itself is also a massive weight and you're swinging this massive weight together, right? But to improve on your swing, what you want is more of a whip, is that your arm like functions instead of as like a pendulum swinging weight around like a fucking. So what people start doing when they play tennis is that they act the whole arm as like a pendulum, right? And what you want is that the arm's like a whip so that you kind of applying a lot more force onto the ball because of a pendulum, it's based off of like the just the weight of the arm and how it's moving at the tip and blah blah. But what you want is like this whip action. Um, so instead of stiff arming, we're leading with the racket head, moving the weight forward. With rackets like that are head heavier, like an arrow, uh, what's it called? Arrow pure strike? No. A pure arrow, sorry. Instead of and like a pure drive, there's more head weight. And so you don't have to fling the racket as aggressively around, like by leading with the butt cap as much. So if you watch Lyman, like his butt cap leads right before contact, and then the racket head comes around, makes contact with the ball, and flicks forward. It flicks forward, but it's moving uh like faster than the racket handle, right? Like and his arm, his like forearm. So as his racket head's always leading after the contact, his racket butt um leads into the contact. It obviously flattens out like that, exactly, and then moves, and his racket head leads. So what does this mean is that it's like it means that his racket head is moving faster around the ball. And so as he's contacting, even though his arm might be moving one speed, his racket head's moving a lot faster and is pushing the racket's weight into the ball. So it's a lot more action, a lot more speed onto the ball. Good job, Dad. I don't know. I don't know if you explained this at all.
He explains things kind of funny. But yeah, this was the hitting session after we played two sets. He wanted to hit
After we
more.
played 2 sets.
Yeah. It was just a short, 10, 15 minutes. We had the court still.
I'm pretty satisfied with that action on the racket. Um,
Should
that was hard to
we
explain, but I'm sure we can find like a diagram of it somewhere on the internet that like shows it on this from the side in slow motion because it's something that like you really want to aim for, but it is hard to do. Uh, Generally speaking, like this flick wrist whip action goes into play in a lot of things. It helps you produce angles.
so I'm playing with buddy PJ, and then it's a son and dad combo. Miles is the one that I won the doubles tournament with.
Right.
I started off a little rough, but I just I've been playing ad side a little bit more lately, and I feel like it's easier to return back backhands on the ad side.
Hmm.
I had a lot of trouble returning Miles's serve throughout the match.
I mean, we know Miles, like I think we spoke about it last time that he has a big serve, right?
Yeah, and a lefty serve.
He's a tall guy, so lefty serve tall Ben Shelton comparison.
Yeah.
Well, you can put a video of his serve and Ben Shelton's serve as a comparison here as I'm talking. um yeah, I think that last point could have gone in a lot faster. But that's okay. Or just like be really aggressive. Cover, cover, cover. Nice. Do you communicate with your partner at all? I don't know if you have a specific partner that you always train with that you always communicate or not always with all partners
Uh,
you like talk.
well, I actually don't play with PJ very often, so yeah, this is more of this isn't really practice. It's just more for fun because combo season's over, and yeah, it was just because Miles was in town and his dad wanted to play. But for like when I play with Gino, we don't communicate that much, but I know where he's going to be, if that makes any sense. Like I'm not worried about being out of place with him. But for
Uh
Gino was the one from the earlier video that I was playing, the 4 I was playing with.
Okay.
But he'll tell me like he got it, or now that I think about it, here I was telling PJ like if it's going over my head, I was like, "Hey, yours," just to let him know that I'm not gonna go after it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does was PJ doing the same?
Uh, no, I don't think so.
I'm not
That
pointing any fingers, just by the way. That's not just wondering who like are both people doing it, you know? Um, sorry, you were saying?
yeah, I mean, like, yeah, there's a couple of times where PJ's maybe out of position a little bit, or he's like super close to me, and then we lose the angle on some points. But
Yeah.
like those type of things, like I'll share with them during the match, like, oh, if I see something. And but yeah, I don't think I've played with PJ in a long time, so
Okay. Um, yeah, I was just gonna say like it doesn't seem like you guys move across the courts as fast when you're trying to cover, or like you guys are this is a rotation and like a dance between the two of you of like being in the right position at the right time because I mean with partners like over time, but even at like a professional level where they have like set people that they always play with, like we're going to this tournament together to play doubles and like this is our year tour set of tournaments that we're playing. They still scream like out loud like mine, 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 yours, 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 and it's like it's
uh
one of those things that like it has like a bystander syndrome, like you always think that someone else already knows or will call the police for an incident, and so therefore you don't do it, but there's only two of you, so in this case like you really have to just scream it, like make a decision and scream it repeatedly, so your partner knows, and also to like create some initiative, because the faster you guys are set in your places, like the more ready you are to take the ball, right? And the more ready you are to like execute whatever strategy or the next ball. And that's an advantage to you always. Literally,
yeah.
you'll see, yeah, see me like scream, go yours, 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 mine, mine, mine. Like even though I know like my friends Kobe and Risha for years now. Um,
Now it's for like the more ambiguous where each of you could have gotten it kind of thing.
no, no, like even if it's like very obviously like it's a high lob and like or like I couldn't get to it, like like we still say like and scream it like yours, 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 like as I'm
Okay,
moving, like yours, 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 and we go like we've already moved at this point. We've already like decided, and I'll still say it, or my partners will still say it, yours, 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 mine, mine, mine. Um, like we've already switched.
got
Maybe
it.
I'm even on
Okay.
the other side of the court and I'm saying it.
Uh,
It's
okay, that's good to
excessive.
know.
Yeah, but it's what you want to be. That like this is how fast we're moving. Like we've already moved and we're still yelling and screaming directions.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't felt that way with only certain people that I play doubles with where it feels very natural to move. Like I know if they're moving, they're staying versus I think sometimes I wasn't sure where there's like a couple of people where I don't know if my partner's going to be there uh, or if they're going to move or stay. I guess, and it throws me off. So I'm like waiting to see what they're going to do, and then I
Yeah,
move
yeah. Like if you go back 3 points, uh, when you get a chance.
here.
Yeah, okay. So if you watch this one, Miles is like standing a little bit, but okay. So here, that ball that PJ pops up, the first one, this one, right? Like if
Yeah,
it like usually what we would want to do is like let's say if it was higher and it was like a lob and someone was going to take an overhead or even in this case, like people sometimes scream like lob like back, 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 like to warn their partners so that we have more time and we back up collectively together. Because like maybe like for you, it's still behind you physically, the ball as it approaches the other side. So you don't see how floaty it is, and it gives you that
Mm-hmm.
extra couple split seconds to like move back a little bit. So this is like I was between back, 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 like lob. And then yeah, like you get to move maybe even further behind the server's line
Mm.
as like Miles is about to like slam the crap out of it. So it's like extra steps, and it's not just like switching or like being lobbed. It's screaming, and like this way like we have a lot of initiative when we're moving. And even though maybe we already know like the general idea, like in this case like you already started moving back because you have an idea of like where to go. I hope, I hope you feel that
Yeah.
way, right? Yeah.
Uh, yeah. In general, I do.
And it
I'm starting to understand it. Like, I think on that last point, I was like, I saw the ball kind of floating, and I was kind of getting prepared because it might come back at me
Yeah,
because I can see it, and I already started scooting back.
yeah,
And I think the other part that I'm trying to be more conscious of is there's only a limit of how much I can scoot back before he hits, and as soon as he hits, I need to set and prepare. And that's something that I've noticed that I was doing a lot. I wasn't doing a lot of previously. I was going back, and by the time when they're hitting, I'm still moving back, and
yeah.
I'm in no position to make like move, change directions wherever the ball is going to go. Um, but as soon as I'm planting, I'm able to like, okay, at least I can react to that ball versus I'm still in the backwards momentum.
Yeah, so when you have to do that, like uh it's you want as much time as possible, and so that's why even though we know naturally where to go, like to have some more initiative and being like, okay, it's already bad, you gotta go. And, like that's why we call out like so immediately. Like even though okay, I'm picking up the ball and it's crap and I know it, and Lyman's already backing up. In this case, I'm your doubles partner. Like okay, I'll scream it anyways, back, 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 and you hear in your head, and you're like, fuck, I gotta get back. Extra couple seconds to give everybody a little bit more time.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I'll work on that. Um, I don't know if I'm going to play the doubles tournament, but or play doubles for that tournament just because I'm playing singles already. We'll see.
It
I
doesn't
might.
happen like when the points are kind of slow, but in doubles it usually like as the point speeds pick up and you have a lot of exchanges of volleys and things going on, um it's something that needs to happen more is that you screen directions out.
Okay. Well, I guess it helps when I also have like a steady doubles partner too, huh?
Yeah, or like finding a group to do like drills. Like when we have four people to court, sometimes we don't play full doubles. We play like two up, two back, or like Google a list of doubles games and drills to do. And then
Okay.
like or another one that's like more without a coach because two up, two back kind of requires like or it helps if someone's always feeding
Hmm.
is dingles because dingles like puts into training that like because everyone's both at the baseline that you already want to get to the net a little bit. So
Okay. This is great review. Thanks, Bryce, for jumping on again. You know what? This week I'll work on the doubles communication with my mixed double partner. Thanks everybody for checking out the channel and following our journey. And look forward. Please comment below things you want to see, things you want us to talk about. We're always looking for more ideas. And um, thanks for following along. All right. See you guys next week.